We're going with mostly dry and mostly clear, also warmer than the averages. Beautiful view, courtesy of the America's Mattress Live Tower Cam. You can see Palisade Point right there, the Grand Mesa. Great view, Mount Garfield as well. We're gearing up for another beautiful sunset tonight for the midweek period. Current temperatures right now anywhere from the mid-90s down to close to the 90-degree readings. And when we look at how hot we've been so far, these are not official, but these are 1 degree warmer than we were yesterday. Yesterday we completed the 93 at Grand Junction, the 88 at Montrose. We're supposed to be mid-80s and 90 degrees for these locations. So this was going to be and is a last of our warm days for this week. We will trim back a little bit the temperatures tomorrow, not by much though, and this will put us right to the average for this time of the year. This is exactly tomorrow's forecasted numbers, exactly where we should be for late August. And then of course, the more cloud coverage we get, the more storms we get in the afternoons, then we start to compete with the heat of the day. We will get some rain-cooled conditions as well, so expect under one of those storm clouds temperatures to drop quickly from the 90s to, for example, the 70s. That is not unheard of with some of these storms. In fact, 60-degree readings very possible as well. But that's once we get those storms going tomorrow afternoon and Friday afternoon as well. Some of the storm-associated hazards are going to be the gusty winds, could be the cloud-to-ground lightning. Flooding is going to be a concern moving forward into the next 48 and 72 hours. That puts us Thursday, Friday, even Saturday afternoon. But Saturday is going to be our shoulder storm day. We're going to start to get some drier air in for the weekend, and then we're going to get a stretch. And I'll show you in the extended forecast that stretch of rather uneventful weather. Speaking of events, 33-mile-per-hour wind gust for Grand Junction. That's courtesy of some of the storms we had just to the north up on the Book Cliffs coming off the Rhone Plateau. They didn't amount to anything. They basically collapsed in on themselves, didn't really have a chance, but enough to get storms going, not enough to get rain in the bucket, though we are getting some light showers in some of these elevated sites like the Uncompahgre. I heard one of our coworkers call it the Unk. So the Unk had some storms today. We do have some flood advisories to our north in some of these areas as a result, but this I think is overdue for an expiration. This will go till 5:15 and 5:45, these two respectively. Mostly unpopulated rural areas, but it's a reminder if you're driving in the backcountry or driving anywhere where you come across a low water crossing, please, you don't know. That road's been inundated. You don't know if it's been compromised, what's underneath that water. It doesn't take a lot to sweep you off your feet. It does not take a lot to sweep your vehicle off the road. So just as a precautionary statement, you come across running water, raging water, which was previously dry or slow, just turn around, don't drown. That's the National Weather Service motto. Getting into this late week period, I think we will get the Grizzly Creek burn scar under a flash flood watch, and that's as early as tomorrow afternoon. And I think we'll have a closure out of this. So Thursday and Friday, late day, early evening, keep that in mind if you're traveling along the I-70 corridor. Here's a look at satellite radar imagery, Four Corners region, more storm coverage into Utah right now, just scattered, isolated. These really are not sustaining themselves. You can see they're kind of fizzling and fading out. We'll be looking off towards the Utah-Colorado border. This storm motion to the south over Mac, over Loma, over Fruita. Probably not going to put down some rain, maybe breeze things up a little bit, block the sun, get some cooling going on. Mountain communities like Colburn and Cedar Edge, more likely to get the better brunt of any of these storms, but it'll be short-lived and there's not much to it. A quick look at the Grizz, there's really nothing moving north, but this will be a very different pattern once we get into tomorrow afternoon. Same situation for the Uncompahgre Valley, Delta Olathe, Montrose. If you're heading up towards the Cimarron area, Highway 50 eastbound from Montrose, you're probably going to get under a cloud. You may have to use the windshield wiper briefly, but not as much as you're going to need those windshield wipers tomorrow. So today's the day. If you've got dry rot on your blades, you need to maybe fix or replace, do it this evening, get it done before lunch tomorrow, because getting into the afternoon hours, just after the lunch hour, you'll see some of these storms popping off the Uncompahgre, popping out of the San Juans and drifting a little bit towards the northeast. So this is going to be a little bit on the rowdy side, and that's going to continue through the evening hours. I suspect the Grizz will get a flash flood watch, and the potential for that warning is always there, and that would be a safety closure. And we'll do the same thing on Friday, a little bit more focused towards the evening hours on Friday. And it's all courtesy of what's happening right now. We have a low pressure system to the Pacific Northwest. That's kicking energy down towards us. We have our high pressure system tomorrow reestablishing itself further to the south, so just going to drive in. So our threats will be the flooding, will be the gusty winds, and will also be the lightning strikes. And of course Friday, no different, just a slow traverse to the north with that low pressure system system still feeding a little energy. High pressure system kind of hanging tough in northern Mexico, still feeding that subtropical tap. So that puts us Thursday, Friday, barely into Saturday, and I think we'll see some pop-up storms on Saturday, but don't write your weekend off. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be great. We trimmed the temperatures back just a little bit. Remember, we will go rain-cooled under these storms tomorrow afternoon and Friday afternoon, and then next week we start to establish the remainder of the month. We should finish off on a warmer and a drier note. We don't have a whole lot of opportunity for storms, but we will keep them going in the mountain zones through the weekend and all of next week. So if you're in the mountain zones, get down from elevation by midday and try to avoid any of those high altitude storms. Montrose, by default, we could have a storm cloud moving over this weekend and moving over any afternoon next week, but the focus is going to be on the rowdy storms tomorrow and Friday.